Namaste, beautiful gods, goddesses, and emissaries of light. This is Dr. Tayen. If you are new to my channel, please like, subscribe, and do not forget to hit that notification bell so you can be updated on my latest and my current videos. I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen soon as I was going to start to record. I have not yawned, not one time. When I was laying the cards down, I didn't yawn. Anyway, so I have a beautiful energetic read that is ready for you for Divine Masculine. Let me go ahead and call in some help. I call in air, fire, water, earth, spirit, and ether. And I also call upon the highest of the highest of the high, which is Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh, who will be able to give me the information that is necessary for this beautiful reading in all directions, time and space, past, present, and future. And so it is. All right, so I just want to get my caveat out the way. This is a general reading, although some view my reading as a personal reading. Okay? There is no right, there is no wrong, but I am telling you that this is not a personal reading. If you're looking for something that is a little bit more specific and that will help you in your particular situation, I highly suggest that you check out my description box. I do have shamanic healings and readings that are available for you as you are intuitively guided to choose what is best for you. Also, I will be using Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine interchangeably, and I'm not referring to a sex gender. I am referring to polarity and energy only. So, now that we have gotten that out the way, let's go ahead and get into your lovely, beautiful reading. Crowning your reading, we do have the World card. If you take a look at the World card, it definitely symbolizes something very deep, something that is very intrinsic for both Divine Masculine and Divine Femme. This card, it basically is about an integration of the elements, the coming together of the parts to form a whole. As you know, we are all divine sparks from Source Creator, right? Fragmented cells of Source. And we are the sum of the total part, which is the whole, which is Source. Now, if you look a little bit closer, this card shows a galactic nebula. The stars coalesce to form the traditional depicted shape of the yoni. You see that? Which, along with the golden earthly spear, serendipitously, I can't say this. Let me try this again. Serendipitously, there we go, depicts an eye when the card, that's what happens when you try to do a reading 2 o'clock in the morning, viewed on its side. And if you look at the 4 evangelist figures, it's the lion, the bull, the cherub, and the eagle, which is depicted in each corner that corresponds to the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac, which is Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, and Scorpio. Now, this is very peculiar to me that this card is crowning the whole reading, because as the world is turning, so are different chains of events in Divine Masculine whole life process. Life, to me, is like a buffet of emotions. And all emotions are just feedback. And if I were to feel a low vibrational emotion, it means that I am disconnected from my higher self. With that being said, this reigns true for everyone, including Divine Masculine. Divine Masculine has for quite some time been disconnected from his higher self and has been working on the low vibrational plane of existence. And with that being said, he's made some decisions that he's not been quite so happy about, which is represented by the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is representing for divine masculine. Hold on, I feel like I'm about to sneeze, and I hope that it does not come. Yeah, thanks, angels. Yeah, a yawn came instead. Oh my goodness, what are you guys doing to me? Anyhow, this isolation is basically putting divine masculine in a quiet, reflective state, thinking about the right course of actions that are to come, and also thinking about coming clean, because divine masculine is holding something back. He's holding a secret back from divine feminine, right? Now, as you guys know, that I am doing a reading for the collective, and so I get multiple things that are coming to me. This also can represent divine feminine feeling that she's been left out in the cold and her heart has been broken. Not given the full opportunity to address how she's feeling with divine masculine, because divine masculine has told her on numerous times that he was coming back, but never showed up. Making empty promises and not keeping them. And so therefore, she's feeling dejected at this moment. That's the flip side of this card. Next, let's move into the energy of the Two of Swords. This represents duality, considering two alternatives, right? Okay, so divine masculine has been playing both sides. As you can see in this deck, she's not crossing her heart and the swords are not being crossed. And the reason why is because there are two alternatives. It's not, it's not about juggling between the two alternatives. It's about making a decision between the two alternatives in this case. And so divine masculine, he knows the right thing to do. It's just gaining willpower and a gumption to do it. You see, divine masculine has really done some foul shit. Okay, like going back to the karmic and playing down the relationship with him and divine femme, making it seem like divine femme is the only one that is in love and that's obsessed with him. And when the karmic asks why he keeps the connection, he then again lies and says that, oh, well, I'm just here to help her. It's just it's a spiritual connection. I'm just guiding her. I'm really the only one that can talk to her because everybody else thinks she's crazy. Okay? Yes, this is what is going on in the collective. So everyone else thinks she's crazy, and I kind of feel sorry for her because, I kind of started her on this journey, and I feel quite responsible because, I don't want her to make the wrong decisions or the wrong mistakes. So that's the reason why I'm keeping contact with her. Ain't that some bullshit? But hey, it is what it is. So yeah. Another flip side of this is that divine masculine has put spellcraft on divine feminine. There have been blood pacts that have been made between him and divine femme. Okay. And then there has been spells that divine masculine has done in addition to the binding of the two of them together. Okay. Now, divine masculine, in all defense, did this in his low vibrational state. He was not awakened when he did this. He was very clingy, very attached, didn't know anything about detachment and, spiritual evolution. So this was done based off of tradition and the things that he was exposed to as he was being raised up. And so he felt that he had to be bonded to divine feminine in such a way to where they had to make a blood pact in order for them to have that bond. Marriage wasn't even strong enough for divine masculine. In his mind, he didn't think that marriage was concrete or solid enough for her to stay. So he never wanted her to leave. They both went into this agreement, and this is not for everyone, and I do realize this, but take what resonates for those of you that it does apply to. So they did a blood pact. In addition to this blood pact, divine masculine, after one day of having sex with divine feminine, went to a medicine woman and put voodoo on divine feminine just to seal a deal to make sure that she would never go and be with someone else. Okay? There has also been some divine masculines that were very selfish and into themselves. They also put a spell on divine femme to where she cannot become pregnant. And that if she did become pregnant, that she would lose the babies. This is not for everybody. Like I said again, do not force this. Only take what applies to you and leave the rest. This is like what the Apostle Paul said in the Bible, that we are ones that eat mature food, and so you basically chew the meat and you spit out the bones, okay? But for a lot of you, I'm sure you're going to resonate with what I'm saying because this reading is for you, okay? And then there are some divine masculines that basically have done rituals, not necessarily on the divine feminine, but maybe people that the divine feminine knows, you know, in order to gain favor and to gain wealth. And some people have died as a result of it. I'm just saying what's coming to me when I'm channeling in from the ethers. This is a pretty big deal. And so therefore he's in the Ten of Swords. He's up at night. He's feeling guilty. Okay. Who wouldn't be after all of that shit? You know, there is a very deep divine masculine. This divine masculine is deeply rooted into spellcraft and witchcraft. Okay. It has been handed down to this divine masculine from generation after generation. He is in a high priesthood. He is next in line for this royal priesthood, but he's afraid. He's a coward. He still dabbles in it, but he's not all the way into it the way that he could be because of fear. All right. Fear is holding him back. But right now he's up all night. He's thinking about all of the hurt, the harm, the injury that he has caused divine feminine. And he's playing victim. He's justifying the reason why he did it and why he's in the predicament that he's in. Well, I had no choice. You know, if I didn't do this, you know, for the one that has basically touched the lives of those that are in divine feminine's life, because he was too coward to kill her. Right. So he's taken some of the lives of those that are close to her in order for him to have spiritual advancement and financial prowess and financial gains. So he's up at night thinking about that. All right. It's coming to hunt him because he realized that he's touched some lives, some innocent lives he's taken in order to catapult him into the position that he's currently in. And a lot of them are holding some very prominent positions. Some of these people are even famous. Some of these people are even movie stars. Some of these people, you know, are lawyers, judges, actors, singers, and musicians, okay? This doesn't apply for everybody. I said some. Take what resonates because you're going to know who I'm talking about. And if this applies to you, I'm talking to you, okay? Because I do realize that I do have cross-watchers as well. So at this moment, this Ten of Swords is also divine masculine thinking of how he's going to come clean. Because right now he's fed up. He's at his wit's end. He's tired of living this lie. He doesn't want to take this to the grave with him. It's just too much. It's too much for him to bear. He wants to basically get all of this off of his chest. And this is part of the reason for a lot of you divine feminines that are unaware of why your divine counterpart is not in contact with you. This is the reason why. This is the number one reason why. Is because he's bearing guilt and shame for what he has done. You have the Death card. Okay, after every death, we know there's a rebirth. But let's go ahead and look deep into the death card a little bit more. First of all, we know that it's right after the hangman in the tarot deck. So the hangman is about introspection, going within and basically taking a self-analysis of your life and your actions and figuring out from here how to course correct your steps, right? And then you have the death, because that's where you do the work. Because when you're in the hangman, you're not doing the work. You're in isolation and you're just kind of like, self-reflecting, and, you're doing the introspection and retrospection. But when you're in the death card energy, which is where Divine Masculine is currently at, that's where you're doing the transitioning, and that's where the transformation is happening. And then that's where you put action in, right? Out with the old, in with the new is what I'm hearing from Spirit. So these old doors had to close in order for these new doors to open, in order for them to open up. And so this card is basically about the new approach that Divine Masculine is about to take. And if you look, there's a rose that is in this hand of this Fool with the mask on, okay? This represents purity for the soul, okay? Divine Masculine is ready to come clean. And that's what's denoted by this rose being here. Next, you have the Queen of Coins. I was going to say Pentacles, but same difference. You guys know what I mean. So what this represents, because it's in reverse, and we cannot ignore the fact that it's in a reverse position. It shows the jealousy and the insecurity that Divine Masculine has about Divine Femme. Okay, he's afraid that she's moved on to another lover. And his insecurities are about her cooking and cleaning and making love to another partner. Okay, and this is the reason why this card is here. A lot of Divine Masculines, they can dish it out, but they can't dish it back in, right? And so that's what this card represents. Next, we have the Knight of Coins. Okay, the Knight of Coins is about not compromising or backing down. Okay, not throwing in the towel, so to speak, and not taking no for an answer. Divine Masculine is not giving a flying fuck. Okay, he's not taking no for an answer. He's coming back to Divine Femme, and he is going to pour out his heart to her, and he is not going to back down, because he now values the relationship. He now knows the sanctity of the relationship. There is no comparison to Divine Femme. He done already went out here. He done had plenty of karmics. None of them have fit the bill. They've all failed miserably. No one has given him the type of love that Divine Feminine has offered and given to him. And no one can. No one can. No one stands a chance. Okay? I don't know where the cans came from, angels. Work with me here. You got me up doing this and then you giving me cans? I love my angels. All right. Anyway, anyhow, so the Lover card is here because Divine Masculine is ready for commitment. Now, one thing that the angels wanted me to bring and draw to your attention is that, like, they compared this card to the Devil card, because, like, with the Devil card, there's two people that are there that are bound to each other and they're in bondage and they're looking for the other one to help the other. But it's not working because they're being detached and they're basically working from a place of fear. Okay, it's fear-based. And we know that anything that is in fear, it doesn't grow, because nothing can grow out of fear, because fear is the absence of love. The absence of love is not hate, but fear. We've been lied to. So therefore, now they're not in the devil energy. Divine masculine is moving out of the devil energy. And so now the angels is normally represented on this card with the two people in union looking up to the heavens, because there are now depending on a higher power. So now divine masculine is depending on this higher power, which we know is source, in order to guide him back into the arms of his beloved, the one that he loves, his one and only true love. And as you can see with the doves being there, that also represents Holy Spirit and both of their higher selves, lifting them up into an elevated position to where now divine masculine is able to make a choice, because the Lover's card is also about making a choice, and it is in the outcome position, so it definitely represents making a choice in love. But he's choosing long-term commitment now, and not being attached. He doesn't have that attachment issue that he had at the very beginning of the relationship, and this is the reason why the divine has allowed for the two of them to come back into a perfect harmonious union. And with that being said, divine masculine has harmony with his head and his heart, and he's making this choice out of unconditional choice of his own heart. It's not forced. With the devil card, when you're in a relationship with the devil energy, it's by force, like he bound her with witchcraft. Now he has broken the spell. And as he broke the spell, he realized that he put the down spell on himself too. Because this is the reason why, you guys, and a lot of people have asked me, have I ever done a spell, a love spell on my divine counterpart? The only spells I have ever done are shamanic healings to help to heal him and to bring peace and love and communication into the relationship. Because when you put a spell on your twin flame, you're putting a spell on yourself. Because you're one. So you don't need a binding spell for your twin. You're already bound to each other. You're already connected with the silver cord. So why would you sit up there and put a binding spell to someone you're already bound to? That doesn't make sense. Okay? So when you know better, you do better. But from a spiritual aspect, they're already bound. He didn't even need to put that spell on her in the first place. And now he's waking up to his autonomy. He's waking up to his magician power and to know that he is the magic. He didn't need to put magic on Divine Femme, because Divine Femme, come what may, she was going to be there anyway and never turn her back, because that is what Divine Femmes do, that are in their power and standing in their autonomy, being autonomous beings, being the goddess that she is. Right? But it took trial and error for divine masculine to be able to come to his senses, because he had to be at a situation to where he was tormented at night by what he did, causing the miscarriages, causing, the deaths of the loved ones of the divine femme, so he could prosper in his life. All of these things eventually caught up to him. That was his karma, right? But now that he is, in that position to where he's been through the introspection, right, out of the hangman position, and now he's transforming. In his transformation, he's made that change, right? No more is he playing victim and saying he had to do it, he had no choice because that was the only alternative. No, now he is seeing things a lot clearer from a higher perspective, because one of the things that had to go most importantly was the ego, the death of the ego, which is also represented by this card. And there had to be a balancing of the scales somewhere, because divine masculine was moving out of bounds and didn't care, right? All he was thinking about at the time was his damn self. And now he's matured. Let's speak about that. He has matured, because if you look at this man's face on this card, this is a man's face that is matured in age. Doesn't necessarily mean that the divine masculine is older than divine femme. No, but it just means that he has matured, because we know maturity has nothing to do with the age, because age ain't nothing but just the number, right? So he has matured past those immature ways. He looks at divine feminine as being a mother figure to him. And so that's why he tried to pull out all stops to try to keep her, because a lot of divine masculines have issues with abandonment. Some of them did not have their mother there for them when they were being raised. Maybe she was a part of the life, but not a full, didn't play a full active role. And then for some of them that had the mother, maybe it was in a strange relationship, but just take what resonates. But for this divine masculine, that was the case. She was around, but she wasn't the ideal mother. She didn't give hugs and say, I love you. Didn't give the affection and attention that a child desperately so needs. And so when he got into the union with the divine femme, who was naturally nurturing and caring by nature, he didn't want to lose that. All right. And I'm not making excuses for the divine masculine. I'm just giving his side because that's who I'm channeling for. But I have come to the conclusion of this beautiful reading. It is a good karma to like, share, comment, subscribe, leave a love donation if you feel inclined to, or you can purchase a gift from my wish list on Amazon and it will appear on the channel. I also want to tell you that I will do $11.11 one question answer. I do not have time to do an extended because it is probably 3 o'clock now in the morning and I'm about to go to sleep. All right. Namaste, everyone.